Hello and welcome inside another episode of the Sherwood Park Crusaders pregame show. My name is Zach Marks, pleased to be bringing you this one from the friendly confines of the Randy Rosen Rink here in Sherwood Park, Alberta, where the Sherwood Park Crusaders will play host to the Bonnyville Pontiacs for the first time in this 2022-23 AJHL regular season. Now, Sherwood Park is coming into this one with a fairly solid streak intact. 6 games in a row with a point coming into this one. 3 wins, 2 losses in overtime, and 1 shootout loss in their last 6 games as they fly into this one. Their last home game being a 2-1 shootout loss to the Grand Prairie Storm. Since then, Sherwood Park has had the AJHL Showcase as well as 2 games on the road last weekend as they came out of that one with a 2-0-2 record. 1 win at the Showcase, the 13-0 win over Calgary, which did constitute a home game, which would be Sherwood Park's most recent, but not the most recent here at the Sherwood Park Arena. Now, this is a Wednesday night game, and Sherwood Park hasn't had a lot of midweek games so far this season, but they'll look to carry the momentum from their previous games, in which they played quite well in Whitecourt on Saturday night, into this one against Bonnyville, who they have lost to once already this season. That game coming in Bonnyville, where Sherwood Park held a 2-1 lead after 40 minutes, but 2 goals just over a minute apart in the third period for the Pontiacs gave them the 2 points at the RJ Lalonde Arena. Sherwood Park will look to change things here this evening. Looking at the away side here this evening, the Bonnyville Pontiacs are coming off a 4-3 overtime loss to the Lloydminster Bobcats last night. Now, Bonnyville did claw their way back from a 3-1 deficit all the way to tie the game and force overtime, but Lloydminster did prevail, so 1 point for Bonnyville as they come into Sherwood Park looking to get the full 2. Bonnyville is second in the Viterra North Division so far this season with 14 points in 10 games, trailing the Spruce Grove Saints for first place by 4 points to this point in the season. Sherwood Park, meanwhile, sits a little bit lower down in these standings with 11 points through 10 games. Still a solid start, especially defensively, as they've allowed just 26 goals over those 10 games, which is a 2.6 goal per game against per game average, which is down from last year's total of 3.5 per game, granted in a smaller sample size. Now, that's all for me here for the Sherwood Park Crusaders pregame show. You can catch the broadcast on Hockey TV, where myself and Dawson Patrician will have the call starting at about 6:55 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you can't make it to the game, that's the best way to tune in, or follow us on Twitter, where we will be posting up-to-the-minute highlights as well as updates throughout the game from right here in the Sherwood Park Arena. But first, before we end off, let's head down to the coach's office and have a chat with head coach Evan McFeeters about how he feels through the first 10 games of the AJHL season. Joined now by head coach Evan McFeeters. Now, Evan, your team 10 games through the AJHL season already. What have you made of your group through the first 10 games or so?
Yeah, I think we're trending in the right direction. You look at our record, we're above 500. If you look at the special teams, we're in the top 5 in both categories. Goals for, goals against, both in the top half of the league or top 5 in the league here. So we've played a lot of tight games. We're learning a lot about our group here, and we're definitely getting some character efforts out of a lot of guys through the first 10. So we still have 50 more to go in the regular season. Our division's super, super tight. It seems like a 3-point night every single evening in our league. So it's a good thing for our league, the parity, but I like where we're at. I like where we're trending, both offensively, defensively, and then positional wise. Our goaltending's been outstanding. Both guys. Our forward group is starting to click a little bit. We're getting some depth scoring, and then our D core, I think that's going to be the strength of our organization this year. Is we've got 7 talented guys back there, and at any given night they can help us get out of the zone and go play offense.
Looking across the ice at your opponents, they played last night in Lloydminster. How important do you think a quick start is tonight?
Extremely. They played overtime last night in Lloyd, and then they jumped on the bus, and they're coming here to play their second night on the road. So for us, it's important to start well every single night. We've had highs and lows throughout the year just on our starts, and we want to make sure we're consistently good. But we're back on home ice. We haven't played many games here comparatively to other teams in the league on home ice. So we're excited to play here tonight. We just got to make sure that we're ready to go off the drop of the hat.
So the last time these two teams met, you dropped it 3-2 in regulation. You held the 2-1 lead after 40 minutes. What do you have to do to make sure you're on the right side of that result here tonight?
That game we played well. I think we had 40 minutes of really good hockey, and we're on top of them. And Bonnyville's a good club this year. They're 6-2 and change, and they're a heavy veteran group. And I think for us, that third period when the puck dropped, They were down a goal and they came out a little bit more hungry than us and a little bit more tenacious, and they caught us by surprise in that first 5 minutes. But we won't be surprised any longer. I think that was just a learning curve for a young group, and moving forward here, we're going to need to understand once the puck's down to start a period or to start a game, we have to be the best.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, Zach.